Diablo 4 is so bad it can be easily compared to a shit with no future. It does not matter what the new expansion does, what class it adds, or whatever happens. It doesn't matter what new mechanic in a season they add, it's done. Diablo 4 cannot be saved. Nothing will bring it back. People hate Blizzard, and honestly, if you think I'm being judgmental against Diablo 4, bro, boys, listen, I'm doing a World of Warcraft review video of midnight. I have played a lot, I have raided, I have done a lot of things, and my god, do I have some words for that piece of garbage, okay? So, anything I say about Diablo 4 is honestly gonna be kind, if anything. In any case, Season 4 is bad. We all know that the Riker wheel of motion is pretty much like this. We are so back. It's gonna be amazing. Season comes out. Season dead. It was not good. And then new season announced and it all starts again. What a beautiful way to live life, honestly.
Diablo 4 is hitting that already done feeling a lot faster this season. And I think a big reason is that one exciting chase is missing. The good news is Lord of Hatred.
The last time I tried to play Diablo season, I don't remember what it was, but I know that I played like an hour and a half and I was done and I forgot to log in the next day. And also, currently, there is a Last Epoch, almost said Path of Exile. There is a new Last Epoch League, so if you're not playing it, play it. I personally actually forgot about it. I am downloading it literally right now, and I'm gonna finish up and go play some Last Epoch, boys.
Looks ready to bring that feeling back. So today we're talking about Diablo 4's missing chase, Stronghold and key fatigue, Last Epoch Season 4, Titan Quest 2's next big update, and why Epic's massive layoffs may be a warning sign for the whole games industry. Hey.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the Epic Games situation in a separate thing. It's pretty funny.
Folks, this is Riker, and I dig into ARPG and gaming news so that you can spend more time playing games. Timestamps below to skip ahead to different topics. But before we move on, a quick word from this video's sponsor.
Oh boy! We skip.
Starting with Diablo 4 news, we've got the Gift of the Tree running until March 31st. That means you get a bonus Whisper Cache anytime you turn in.
Oh boy, more slop for the pig trot. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh goodness gracious. Did you hear that, boys? More garbage. More garbage. What? Oh. More garbage. Yes. Path of Exile is allowed to do this shit when they put out a league that's not juiced enough. Remember, we talked about this once, it's the fact that every single bad league in Path of Exile has been solved by just increasing drops 2 times. I'm serious, by the way, that's an actual thing. This doesn't work for Diablo because it's a shit game. Path of Exile is a good game. Diablo, shit. Path of Exile, not shit. Huge difference. Losing my mind here. No, juicing up the Tree of Whispers doesn't do anything. The game's bad, and no amount of more garbage is gonna save it.
As for the season itself, one thing I'm really feeling this season is the loss of sanctification. You don't know what you got till it's gone, kind of thing.
This is so crazy. I bet the Diablo 4 devs just got ass mad. Because the only ever mechanic in Diablo 4 that has been praised, and yes, this is sanctification, and yes, there has been a situation where people have been happy about something in Diablo 4. It happened once, and sanctification is just effectively a poor man's version of corruption in Path of Exile. Yes. They just literally stole a mechanic from Path of Exile, and I'm assuming that the devs just got extremely ass-mad about the fact that the only thing that's good in the game is something blatantly stolen from Path of Exile in everything but name. So yeah.
It just feels like something is missing this season, and it's that exciting sanctification chase. But the great news is that Lord of Hatred is bringing that back.
And by the way, if you think that's petty, listen, it gets worse. You know why it gets worse? Well, here's the spiel, right? They keep stuff from previous seasons. There has not been a single season past 3 or 4, I think, where they have not kept something a part of the previous season into the new one. Not the core mechanic, but still. And this is something everyone wanted to keep. This was like unanimously the easiest decision ever makeable in this garbage dumpster fire. And the Diablo 4 devs are like, no. 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 Yep, that's it.
As a permanent feature with the Horadric Cube via Transfiguration that'll operate largely the same. But in the meantime, I feel done with this season far sooner than the previous two, but that was expected. This is a shorter season, and it was designed that way. We're just a month away from Lord of Hatred at this point. I think the Butcher gimmick would actually make for a nice recurring event. It's not strong enough to carry a full season, but if it would be an event that lasts like a week or so, and maybe it pops up once or twice a year, I think that could be fun. Maybe have an event.
By the way, is the Butcher season the worst so far? Because again, if the Butcher is a stupid gimmick mechanic that most people don't like, and the best part about the season is, hey, you get to not do it if you don't want to, and aka you don't have a season mechanic in this case. Yes, this season's mechanic for most people is there is no season mechanic. Exciting, I know, amazing.
In which you can either be the Butcher or save townsfolk from the Butcher, so that players who don't want to be the Butcher don't have to. I know a lot of people just want to play their build, not an alternate build. Or, as I said last week, make the Slaughterhouses a very rare drop, but keep them in the game. I think having more rare special events helps make the game feel bigger. We all loved the Greed Realm in Diablo 3, the Secret Cow level. Then
I hate both of those, by the way.
Doom Reliquary was also a step in the right direction for crossover events, having the Doom chests at lair bosses drop cosmetics that we can collect through gameplay. That's the most fun way to get cosmetics. It's something players have consistently wanted, the ability to farm cosmetics through gameplay rather than the shop. Let's start the motto: drop, not shop. Then something I see people continue to bring up season after season: Strongholds. Why do we have to redo Strongholds every season? And I think it's worth revisiting this discussion because in the past, I could argue that Stronghold served as a strong tool, no pun intended, a strong tool for leveling. But nowadays, Helltide has gotten extremely competitive with Stronghold leveling, while also being far more rewarding with items, so Strongholds don't really have a place in the game anymore. If we lost Strongholds, that is, if we started the season with Strongholds already unlocked, it wouldn't be hurting our leveling speed anymore. That said, I think Strongholds are good content. They're well designed.
Why can't we just start at max level and max Paragon? It would be easier and less tedious because nothing except the end game in Diablo 4 will ever matter. So I kind of want to skip everything before that point, thank you.
Dungeon adventures. Now, I'm not sure...
And no, that's not a joke. The game is so bad, and the early game before the end game, aka max torment, max whatever, does not matter, and everyone skips it.
That I like them as a recurring seasonal gate that we need to do to unlock other things, but I'm hoping the devs can find some way to repurpose Strongholds into something else, something that keeps the fun of the Stronghold without making it feel like a chore to do to unlock basic map progression. Just off the top of my head, what if every season one Stronghold, just one, was turned into a capstone dungeon? We only have to do the one Stronghold, and it would be juiced in difficulty to the level of a capstone dungeon like we have in the season rank, and all the other Strongholds are unlocked by default. And you can even build this up into like some kind of a narrative, make it feel like the map changes every season, or, oh, this area got overtaken by the drown, we gotta win it back.
Thank you. By the way, that's a good idea from Riker. It does actually sound good, but boys, listen. You probably know me as the guy who predicts a lot of things and has a very good record. And that's true, except for one thing, and that's Diablo 4. No. I did predict it's gonna be bad and blah blah blah. I do have a lot. But you know what? One thing, every single time in Diablo 4 I have said, okay, this looks like it's actually a mechanic that has potential to be fun. The last time I said this about the Blizzard game was the prey mechanic in World of Warcraft Midnight, which is by far the most stupid, infuriating, worthless garbage mechanic I have ever seen in a game, by the way. And I'm currently containing myself from absolutely flipping out, by the way. More on that when I talk about my actual experiences in Midnight. Yay! Anyway, every time I think a mechanic in a Blizzard game is gonna be fun or good, it always turns out to be the worst thing ever. I have like a 90% wrong probability on these things. Every time I think something in Diablo 4 has potential or in World of Warcraft has potential, I'm wrong. I don't even remember the one thing I was right about, and even then it was not a full right. I just don't want to be at 0% on this. I do make mistakes, and they're tied to thinking that Blizzard will ever make a fun mechanic. That's my mistake, and I constantly make it.
Areas are going to be this season? I don't know. What do you folks think? I think strongholds feel like a chore currently because there's so many of them. The reward isn't something really worth celebrating. It's not like we're getting a mythic item or a spark or anything. It's just unlocking a waypoint or a dungeon or otherwise something unexciting. And they're also not challenging. If we can address all three of those points, I think they can be transformed into something that players want to engage with. Another thing becoming increasingly apparent is that we're getting activity key fatigue. Between Nightmare Dungeon sigils, boss sigils, Infernal Hordes keys, Kurast Undercity keys, and then the potential seasonal activity keys. And then with there being like multiple
I mean, this has been a problem forever.
Subcategories for most of these keys, making it so that they don't stack, we either need a proper key storage or we need to find a different way to access these activities that isn't creating so much stash burden. I mean, the game throws at us literally more keys than we can run. It is basically a baked-in mechanic now that we have to salvage.
Wait. An easy solution for this, which Blizzard is never gonna do because it's too smart for them, would be you just get like a key shard. And then when you want to do an activity, you identify the key shard. And all of those key shards are stacked, and you can identify them. And then you need to choose, do you want to do the place or not, based on the affixes. Now, granted, I have never heard of a situation of someone not running a dungeon because of a Diablo 4 affix, la fucking Mao. But, you know, you get to choose if you want to do the key or don't want to do the key. And if you don't want to do the key, it's lost. It's gone. It's deleted. And then you move on to the next fragment and identify it and see what it has. That's how I think it should work.
Keys or drop them on the ground. But how do you folks feel? Are things fine the way they are, or should something be done? And if so, what are your ideas? Sound off in the comments. Because in other news, Last Epoch Season 4 kicked off this week. I was able
Oh yeah, I want to hear about this a little bit, okay? We're not ending the video just yet.
to play for a few hours, and I was enjoying the season. The main seasonal activity, the Omen windows, are really worth doing while leveling during the campaign. They were always a treat to run into. That's something that I think is really important. When new content is added, especially if it pops up early on in the game, you want it to be something that is worth the time to engage with. Sometimes when these things are added into games, it's like, okay, it's a cool thing, but it's either too challenging or it takes too long and the reward isn't worth the investment, so you just kind of like skip it for now once you reach.
Bro, how do you play Last Epoch like this? He has a skill point, not a skill point. What are these called actually? I don't even know. But it's a thing in your skill tree, right? You have one of those available and you're not putting it in? My god, dude. Like, Getting a level in this game is one of the absolutely most addictive things that can happen, and you're just ignoring it? What is this, Starfield?
Higher level, then you start engaging with it. So that's not the case. It is good to engage with right away.
God, I look at this and I'm instantaneously drooling. Okay, my download also has finished, so I should wrap it up.
Then the corrupted items that drop from these omen windows, those are also exciting, seeing those big juicy affixes so early. I even got a +1 to all skills affix. That was insane. Servers held up well, I had no issues
+1 to all skills is actually extremely insane.
logging in and playing, and the progressive improvements they make to animations are noticeable. This leads to the game feeling...
Yes. One of the worst things about Last Epoch, I have said since the beginning of this game, when I first knew about it, was the fact that some animations are just ass. If you're playing a Necromancer, I'm sorry, Acolyte, Lamau, if you're starting off with, if you want to go the Necromancer route or Lich route or whatever the hell route, honestly, VOD looks pretty best, not gonna lie. Fissure's fun. If you want to go that, when you started the game, it's like your first abilities all look like ass. And it felt really bad to kill a lot of mobs, because a lot of the mobs in the early levels, in the first levels, are like damage sponges, Your first blue enemies are gonna take like 15 hits to kill. Okay, that's no exaggeration. But it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna feel like for fucking ever. And the basic enemies are, some of them take 3 hits to kill, which is also literally forever. And that's not good. that is very, very bad and poor, to be absolutely honest. And those animations that you have, especially for the Acolyte, are just, they're so bad. They look so painful, honestly. I hate them. And that was a huge thing that I think dissuaded a lot of people from playing Last Epoch. And sure, you can say Path of Exile started off with equally bad animations. Not true. Not actually true. I was there. I was there when Path of Exile first came out. Okay. I was there when fucking everyone wanted to be an Aura Paladin and they had to remake Auras into looking like a bunch of dots around you, because when Auras were initially animated, they actually were like in Diablo 2 and they looked cool and shit. And then it created logs for the servers because everyone wanted, obviously, to run like 15 Auras as much as they could get. So that was a thing. That's a speck of history not a lot of people honestly know about. I was fucking there. I'm Unk. What up, boys? But in any case, Path of Exile never suffered from the problem that skill animations were bad. It never suffered from it. Skill animations and attacks looked good. The characters themselves looked like fucking God decided to personally botch up an abortion. But the animations were good. Everything had good animations. The worst animation was probably the Criplify. No, what's the thing that summons? You get it in Act 2, it summons a bunch of corpses. That one. That thing was probably the worst animation, and that's it. And everything else that didn't feel great just didn't feel great because of lack of attack speed, so it throws you in an animation for a little bit too long. That's it. All the animations were crisp. Last Epoch still suffers from poor animations. It is what it is. In any case, I'm gonna go. I'm literally gonna go play the Last Epoch League now. Have a nice day. That was our boy Riker. 10 out of 10. Bye.